Muscle mommy, the pinnacle of perfection. I dream of her touch every night. Yet my fragile heart suffers another devastating blow, knowing I will never taste such perfection. The only thing I can do is watch this guy try his best in this manga titled, a story about treating a female knight who has never been treated as a woman. The strongest female knight named Leo Cornelia. Right now, the woman is approached by a boy who seems all flustered, yet she looks annoyed at being called out by someone she doesn't know. If it's a duel the boy is looking for, she is not up for it. He should go somewhere else. Fighting against her would only get him hurt. However, that is not it. Instead of taking his sword out, the boy kneels and takes out a bouquet of flowers, saying he likes her as a woman. His name is Fuli Dent, and, same as me, he loves strong women that handle big swords with majesty. For a moment, the woman gets her cheeks red, but brushes it off. One must have guts trying to fool her like that. But there is no man in this world that would ever like a woman with as many scars as she has. However, Fuli does not hold his feelings inside. He lets her know that is not true. There is a man here who likes her for who she is. Those words anger the woman, who now takes out her sword. Pointing the tip towards Fuli, she tells him to get out of her sight before she cuts him. Cornelia has no intentions of playing along with this commoner's farce. Yet, even now he is not backing out. Shouting out loud, Fuli mentions he is serious. He fell for her the moment he saw Cornelia. The way she holds herself so bravely. The way she always has a quiet smile on that face. And the most important part, those perfect abs that shout out muscle mommy. Fuli is truly a man of culture, and he loves everything about this woman. Hearing that, Cornelia is shocked. What the hell is he speaking about? Who in hell would love those beautifully carved abs? He should stop trying to fool her. Is her body so unseemly that he has to resort to praising those features? Fuli, holding onto the sword that was about to penetrate his skull, mentions those features are the best part. However, Cornelia does not accept it even now, and her face does not seem to change expression. Until Fuli mentions he does not want some sheltered girl who is only raised for her body. Her abs, trained and formed on the battlefield, are 100 times more beautiful. Looking her straight in the eyes, the boy shouts that he believes she is the most beautiful woman in the world. Finally, breaking that barrier, looking all shy and with her cheeks red, Cornelia mutters, not understanding him. No one has ever treated her as a woman before. Not being able to understand what is going on, she starts running away. This woman, Leo Cornelia, is a knight known as the undefeatable Holy Blade. People even started making rumors, saying she was born to fight and raised as a tool for killing monsters. Unsurpassed, she wielded her blade for the sake of the country. This is the woman Fuli fell for, and now he keeps on following her, no matter where the lady goes. Inside the forest, finally stopping after walking for a while, Cornelia wonders why he is following her, prompting the boy to say his reason is to help her on her quest. But that is something the woman does not need help with. In fact, she already took down all the monsters. Did Fuli at least help her somehow? With a saddened expression, he mentioned he did not. Looking closer at the woman, Fuli remarks on a small scratch on her abdomen. Yet, for her, that is nothing to be worried about. Meanwhile, Fuli seems really agitated, wondering why she didn't say anything. She does not understand why he got so worked up. It's no use fussing over such a scratch like this. Whining about it won't change the fact that she has to fight. Following that, she mentions she's going to leave Fuli. A moment later, the boy dashes towards her, slapping the woman's hand. Blushing once again, Cornelia wonders what is going on and mentions Fuli is nothing but an animal after all. She had lost all her respect for him. Observing that the boy is about to touch her body, the woman experiences some weird feelings and tries to fight. But only after a moment does she realize a light coming from the boy's hand. He is using healing on her. Only a few can use such advanced magic, so why does he have it? However, Fuli mentions it doesn't matter if the wound is big or small. If the girl he loves is hurt, he can't just let it go. As they keep on standing there for a while, the woman realizes something is wrong. This takes more than needed, and she questions the boy about how long he plans on touching her. Flustered, Fuli mentions this is a medical examination. For sure, it is not that he got mesmerized by her abs. It's not like those crests between her muscles got his fingers stuck in mountains of pleasure. Realizing what is happening, the woman gives him a good old punch to the head, taking the boy out, making me wish that had been my head. Cornelia was an only child in a family of knights, raised under the strict tutelage of her father. She devoted herself to the sword. Womanhood is something she cast aside a long time ago. For her, the battlefield is the only place she can survive. Today she is fighting against a big group of ogres, and as always she manages to take them down, but this is bad. These monsters are huge, and there is no end to them. Right now, she can't even lift her arm, which means it must be broken. Therefore, she needs to back off for now. However, another big creature has shown up, making it difficult for her to make out. She was ready to fight against the creature, but her arm holding the sword could not be lifted. The moment before she got hit by that punch, Fuli showed up, pushing her out of the way. He managed to save the woman, and while she is wondering what he is doing here, the boy goes straight for her abs. This makes the woman believe his animal instincts are kicking in. Trying to push him off, the boy says no. This might be their end, here and now. Therefore, he wants to say that he loves her. Standing up, the woman can't believe this. This idiot came here just for a confession. Isn't he looking around? They're in the middle of a bloodbath. Right then, as the creature is about to hit them with another punch, Cornelia takes all her strength and slices the monster using the sword. However, she got really surprised for some reason. Her arm is healed, and that huge slice she did, together with the creature, almost took Fuli's head off. With a smile on his face, Fuli mentions they were in a real pinch, and she still took him down with one hit. Even though she was about to die, he still seems really excited. Following that, he apologizes for touching her earlier. He was looking for any injuries he could heal. Apparently, while he was in the town, Fuli heard she was fighting a horde of monsters by herself. After hearing that, he panicked and started running off. But he could not finish what he was about to say because Cornelia starts shouting, calling him an idiot, wondering what is going on in his head. Was he trying to die for her sake? What part of her is worth throwing his life away for? Even if he did this for her, she is never going to like him. She even mentions that standing by his side as a woman is impossible. It's too late for that. Behind that armor, her body is covered in horrible scars. There is nothing womanly about it. If he gets the message through that thick skull of his, then he shouldn't come after her anymore. However, even after hearing her storm out, Fuli, with a stupid smile on his face, mentions he already knew it. A girl like herself is out of his league. Surprised once again, not understanding what he is on about, Cornelia listens as Fuli keeps on speaking, mentioning he does not care about her scars and she does not need to force herself to act girly around him. He loves her just the way she is. He does not want her to change. Despite being angered moments ago, right now Cornelia's face turned all shades of red. Fuli even mentions that if he is just being a pest, he'll have to give up. Right then, the woman gives him a punch to the head, mentioning this was for making her worry about him, even for a tiny bit. But if he is willing to go that far, she doesn't care anymore. No matter how he is going to treat her, she is not going to change. But if he keeps on liking her, then so be it. As the two are walking through the forest, Fuli wonders if this woman, with a body forged by Hephaestus that shines brighter than a star when staring at those strong, sweaty abs of hers, is not using magic. But it is not needed. Most of her enemies die when cut down. Even so, the boy mentions magic can be pretty useful in a pinch. On this occasion, Fuli mentions he could teach her some magic if that is not her strongest suit. Right then, the woman shows a smirk. She wonders who said she can't use magic. In the next second, she extends her hand and is about to show her skills. Turns out, her magic control is so good, she set herself on fire. While Fuli is wondering from the side if that was something she had planned, the woman comes out of the fire mentioning that it was a complete and utter failure. Nothing good about it. Despite showing a disappointed expression, Fuli mentions that kind of explosion was a high-level spell, more towards the self-destruct kind of blow. This is a first for our boy, who never had to heal this many pointless wounds. Thinking about it, it's true. The explosion she made was in a league of its own. If she had just flubbed it, then it should have only made a puff or something. Maybe Cornelia has an incredible amount of mana inside her. Right then, the boy decides to check and grabs the woman by the hand, squeezing it as if it were a sponge ready to clean the car windshield. Flustered, the woman wonders what he is doing again. Is Fuli in heat? Is it really breeding season? It is not the case. Yet, the boy wonders if this woman really sees him as a wild animal. Holding her by the hand, Fuli tells her to try magic while they are like this. He is going to control the flow of her mana through her hand. This is something she is not very sure about at first. If he can really do that, then he sure is convenient. Right then, she extends her arm, and in the next moment, something resembling a tornado shoots out of her hand, going straight this time instead of enveloping her. All excited, Fuli expresses his amazement, mentioning she has more mana than he could have imagined. Even though it's unstable, this could make for some powerful explosion magic. Showing off a proud expression, Cornelia mentions it is expected since she is the strongest. Seeing her attitude, the boy decides they should go even further. Squeezing her hand once again, even tighter than before, Fuli makes the woman blush harder than I have ever seen a woman blush. He even mentions the less contact he has with her, the harder it is to control her mana. He only needs a little bit more. Therefore, she should try to put up with it. Observing the boy moving closer, believing he might just mess with her, Cornelia is ready to give him a fist in that little face of his. However, when looking at him in the eyes, listening to his words, her heart skipped a beat. Time flies by and the two of them end up really close to one another, their sharp noses almost touching. Finally, Fuli got it. Now he can make sure everything goes perfectly. Yet, the woman was in distress this whole time and couldn't really push him away. Finally being able to regain her composure, she unleashes all her magical power, creating an explosion that could have rivaled that of the greatest sorcerers. Another day, Cornelia brings back the past, and how the first time the two met, she thought Fuli was a real womanizer. It was totally cheesy of him to bring flowers when he confessed. He must be used to doing this kind of thing. But it is not the case. Cornelia is the first girl he fell in love with. Therefore, he does not really know how all this works. Blushing, the woman's heart is beating just a little bit faster. At the royal capital, while walking through the city, the woman does not have anything to do for today. Right then, she can hear a kid asking her mother for cake, but that won't happen until tomorrow, when it is her birthday. This little conversation she overheard made the woman think about the past, but she is quickly taken out of it. Fuli showed up, wishing her a good morning, while having this mysterious assassin pose. Surprised, realizing it is him, the woman wonders what he wants. Clearly, she can see there is something different than usual. Looking at his eyes, it is like he's steeled himself for something. The woman agrees with herself that he looks kind of cool. Calling the woman by her name, Fuli mentions this is some lovely weather. Stunned, the woman realizes despite all the aura he is collecting, the boy only makes small talk. Standing still, answering simply, she feels his whole aura screaming battle-hardened war hero, but when he talks it's just idle chit-chat. She can't really get a read on him. She must be on her toes. More than that, the boy is also hiding something behind his back. Could that be a weapon? Is he going to try and fight her? There have been rumors about a killer offing famous adventurers after pretending to be their fan. Yet, there is no way it's him. Fuli wouldn't do anything like that. However, she must keep up her guard. Next moment, the boy is pulling something out. And no, it is not something that would have me censor it. He takes out a gift, wishing the woman happy birthday. Turns out, he had asked the Adventurers Guild for her birthday, hoping they could celebrate. As a present, Fuli got her a necklace. This necklace is enchanted to boost her magic resistance. He keeps on muttering and apologizes for not being able to speak properly since he is so nervous. Showing a calm smile, the woman mentions no one ever celebrated her birthday before. She had the wrong idea. Grabbing the gift, thanking Fuli, she goes away. Observing that, Fuli remarks that was a lukewarm reaction, but since she took it, she must have been happy. Back at home, opening the gift box. As she takes out the necklace, Cornelia remembers about the time when she was training with her father, and despite being her birthday, he offered her nothing but training. That was in the past. Right now, equipping that necklace, she's showing off a really nice smile, definitely excited somebody finally cared for her. For that night, she was like a child who was excitedly waiting for Santa during Christmas. Another time, back in town after finishing another quest. Since it is still morning, the boy wonders if Cornelia has any plans after this. Seems like she wants to go and do some shopping. Even more, if the boy wants to, he could come along. Hearing he got invited to shop together with the woman he loves, Fuli is about to pinch himself. This seems like a dream. Going together with her, shopping feels like a date. However, moments later, the two of them end up at a weapon shop. She wanted a new sword for a while, and this place has a nice selection. With this opportunity, Fuli should look for something as well. She even takes the upper hand, deciding to pick a weapon for him. First trying to get a morning star that she believes would fit him perfectly. He could just swing it around until it bonks someone. Deciding to get another one for him, the boy tries to tell her he is not really looking for a weapon, but she is not listening. The woman got way too absorbed by the weapons. The next weapon she picked is a great scythe. This weapon is super strong and super vague. Cornelia starts explaining and telling stories about each type of weapon she had used. Meanwhile, Fuli thought shopping together would be different, but it is certainly something Cornelia would do. Stopping and looking at the boy, the woman mentions she has realized Fuli looks really bored. She believed he would prefer looking at frivolous things like clothes or jewelry over this. Unfortunately, she can't do girly things like that. He should go and find someone else if that's what he is looking for. Yet, Fuli mentions that is not it. Nothing's more interesting than the smile of the person you love when they talk about things they like. He is perfectly happy with this. Right after that, she tells him to buy the Morning Star so she can tell him how it works. Even more, she's going to tell him even more about the great scythe. Turns out, Miss Cornelia's smile does not come cheap. Today, they're supposed to go for a quest, but Cornelia seems to be pretty late. Since it is an easy one, time should not be a stress. Right then, the woman showed up apologizing for being late. Looking at her, it is obvious something is wrong with the woman. Her face all red, having sweat going down her face and her eyes fuzzy. As she tells him it's time to get going, Fuli mentions she looks extremely sick, and despite coughing, she denies having a cold. Moving closer, placing his hand on her forehead, the boy realizes she is burning up. She can't go anywhere like this, they should visit a doctor. Even when the woman tried to punish him for touching her, the punch was too weak to even feel it. She is a stubborn one, since she tries to keep up her stature as the ultimate knight, even though sick. Therefore, realizing this woman will not listen no matter what he says, Fuli crouches and in the next moment grabs Cornelia, lifting her up in his arms. She tries to get away, while wondering what he is doing, but still no success. Fuli lets her know he is going to take her by force, since she is not going to listen. A moment later, after he mentions she is heavy, Cornelia tells him she is not bothered by being heavy. Most girls might think the lighter they are the better, but she is a warrior. If her body is heavier, it is because of her muscles that she worked so hard to train. She takes pride in that. However, right now she wants to be placed down. She does not want anyone to see her like this. Yet, the boy tells her not to worry since he is going to stick to the empty back roads. Just as she has her pride as a knight, he has his pride as a man. Fuli can't leave alone a girl when she's feeling weak. That feeling is even heavier on him if it is the girl he loves. Now, for the first time in her life, Cornelia believed sometimes it is not so bad to be weak. Today, inside the forest, the two are fighting some big mushroom-looking monsters. And by the two, I mean Cornelia. While the boy praises the woman from behind, something strange comes out of the creature's head, a dust-like substance that completely envelopes Miss Cornelia, while the boy manages to avoid inhaling any of it. As she's surrounded by that strange mist, the woman starts feeling weird. Her body feels all tingly. Thinking about it, since that stuff came out of the monster's cap, there might be some kind of hypnotic effect to it. That becomes clear when Cornelia falls into the boy's chest, and looking straight into his eyes, she mentions that she wants to have a better look at Fuli. With that, the boy realized that stuff did not have hypnosis effect, but a straight aphrodisiac. While the boy is in cloud 9, enjoying this embarrassed look on the woman's face, another creature can be heard approaching. It's a similar creature to the one from before. Without wasting any time, Cornelia slashes the creature in two, and while in the effect of that aphrodisiac, stares angrily at the creature who ruined the moment. The issue this time is that all that aphrodisiac gas involved Fuli, who understands what is about to happen. Seeing him in that state, Cornelia wonders why he got so quiet all of a sudden and starts believing Fuli might not want such a mannish girl coming onto him. But that is not the case. Placing his hand on the woman's shoulder, with the aphrodisiac in full force, the boy starts shouting that is definitely not the case. Quite the opposite. Seeing her like that only makes him more excited. So excited he could stab a stone with his little sword. Shouting out loud that he loves Miss Cornelia, the boy goes crazy, unable to keep his head straight and on the verge of losing control. He takes the woman closer, no longer able to hold back. As their mouths are about to collide and make his sword explode, Fuli opens his eyes, only to realize he was the only one going for the kiss. In exchange, Cornelia plants her fist into his face, sending the boy flying away. She questions what is this perv trying to do. Thankfully, the effect received from the mushroom lasts only a few minutes. Another day, however, things are different. Cornelia went out for shopping and is about to head home, but on her way back she saw Fuli. Since there was this coincidence, with a smile on her face, the woman decides she should go by and say hello. After all, she just happened to be in a good mood today. However, her mood changes quickly when she realized next to our boy is another woman. And oh God, not only does she have some nice, big, beautiful and round eyes, but she also got two nice ponytails. Looking in distress, as she is hiding over the corner, Cornelia wonders who might that person be. Does Fuli know her? She must be just a friend of him. Yet that's odd. For some reason, seeing Fuli with another woman pisses her off. Even seeing him laugh like an idiot makes her crack the wall only with her hand. I guess she could break many things using that strong hand of hers. And I am not speaking only about my heart. Analyzing the girl next to Fuli, Cornelia remarks that girl is hanging all over the boy. Does she really need to drape herself over someone in order to walk? That girl is all dressed up and got a long, pretty hair. Compared to her, that girl seems really girly. Even Fuli started making remarks the girl is sticking onto him too much. It's already making it hard for him to walk. However, she does not give a damn. They're already really close. With a smile on her face that could charm even a skeleton, making all his bones hard, the woman pushes her milky spheres full of dirty thoughts into the boy's arm while mentioning this seems like a date. Not trying to correct the woman, since it seems like she's having fun, Fuli can hear the girl saying, "It has been so long since they've been like this." Looking at all this, Cornelia wonders why. Fuli said he did not care about soft and squishy pamper girls. Right then, the girl leaves Fuli alone for a moment as she decides to take a peek at one shop. Wasting no time, Cornelia comes from behind, grabbing the boy by the shoulder. She starts grabbing him into a more secluded place, not saying a single word, making the boy confused. Directly, moving him onto the wall with her hand close to his head, not allowing him to make a sudden move, she questions who is that girl. Definitely not calm, since that wall she got her hand on is becoming dust. Cornelia demands an answer while she is still calm. But Fuli tries to de-escalate the situation, wondering if he had done anything wrong. Now, looking at him in the eyes, Cornelia starts shaving tears while asking for an answer. For the first time, the knight had showed emotion of jealousy. Unable to explain this feeling inside her, she was reduced to throwing a tantrum. Observing the situation, Fuli is about to give an answer, but right before saying who she is, another voice can be heard from behind, questioning, "What do you think you're doing?" With a deadly stare, the girl who was seen with Fuli moments ago approaches slowly, remarking that the person who dared to take her date is the flamed holy blade. Extremely annoyed, she demands to know how Cornelia dared to lay a finger on Fuli. She never thought this was the kind of thing Cornelia was into, And while Fuli tries to clear up the misunderstanding, the other girl suddenly dashes toward Cornelia and throws a strong punch straight at her face. However, the strongest knight won't be hit by such a simple punch. Cornelia catches it easily with just one hand and remarks that this girl isn't an ordinary one. That was a pretty sharp blow. In the next moment, the girl with big fists and an even bigger personality tells Cornelia not to bully her big brother. Surprised by the girl's remark, Cornelia freezes for a second, not fully understanding what's going on. The girl's name is Anri, and she's now being scolded by her brother. Apparently, she thought the boy was being bullied, but that's all wrong. Cornelia would never do that. Dragging him all the way here must have been for a good reason. Moments later, Cornelia asks Fuli who the girl is and finally gets a proper introduction. This little girl with a big personality is Fuli's younger sister, and also a martial artist. Her name is Anri Dent. Flustered, realizing what she's done, the little sister starts apologizing for misunderstanding the situation. Seconds later, her expression changes completely when her brother starts praising her, rubbing that little head of hers affectionately. That makes Cornelia believe he's got a sister complex. Yet she feels a bit more at ease now, knowing it's just his sister. And now, coming back to Cornelia, Fuli wonders why she was so angry with him. Had he done anything wrong? With her face turning all shades of red, flustered by the situation, Cornelia claims that it was all just to help him grow some backbone. She can't have him getting intimidated by the fighting spirit. Asking about his sister was just something she did on a whim. While Fuli seems to believe what she says, it looks like his sister caught a glimpse of the truth. That's why, after Fuli mentions he'll do his best to be by Cornelia's side, Anri calls the night woman. And while Fuli is not paying attention, she sticks out her tiny tongue, a clear sign of rivalry. In the next moment, realizing Cornelia is getting angry, the little sister, that annoying brother-complex girl, quickly hides behind Fuli, using him as a shield. It's been a few days since Cornelia met Fuli's sister, and ever since, there is something that has been bothering her. For some reason, she started shadowing her wherever she goes. Today, however, things have to change. Cornelia called her out, mentioning she knows Anri is there and demands her stop following. With an attitude, pushing her big personality out, the girl remarks that Cornelia's ability to detect her surroundings is not bad. However, it is obvious the girl needs to work on her stealth skills. Yet, that is not what matters right now. Anri wants to challenge Cornelia to a duel. But before that happens, the night woman wants to know why the girl is chasing her for a duel. Realizing that she had rushed into it without giving any explanation, the girl starts shouting, telling Cornelia to keep her hands off her brother. However, Cornelia is taken aback since the one who is trying to get close to the other is Fuli. He is the one who came and confessed to her, talking about the woman's abdomen. Hearing all that, Anri believes this woman tries to make her brother look like nothing but a regular idiot. The girl knows he's always had a habit of ogling girls with nice muscles. But if you ignore that part, he is an amazing big brother. Moving on, the girl wants to challenge Cornelia to a duel, and she should get ready. Since this is fine by her, the knight does not like to disappoint and makes a statement, mentioning she will pull her punches especially for Anri. Unfortunately for her, the moment she is about to start the fight, her big personality stands in the girl's way, breaking that armor off her upper body, leaving her collarbones wide open. Quickly placing her hands over, wondering what she should do now since her girls are going to be in full view. Apparently, those 20 slices of cake she ate today went straight into her most important feature, and I am not speaking about her abs. Turns out she was trying to stock up on calories for the fight she was about to have with Cornelia. Seeing her like this, Cornelia throws Anri her cloak, allowing the girl to cover herself. She does not feel like having a fight anymore, and Anri should save it for the next time. Hearing those words, Anri stands up, telling her not to act like her brother, and running away, mentions she will let the woman off the hook for today. In the forest, Fuli is finally ready to make a change, and desires to accompany Cornelia in her training. Before starting, the woman mentions she has no intention of changing her workout to his level. If he cannot keep up, she's going to leave him behind. However, Fuli is full of confidence. Chasing those abs would make him absorb power from all his ancestors. He even mentions he is pretty athletic despite how he looks. But right then, when he sees the woman standing in a push-up position, using only one hand and mentioning they will start with 500 push-ups, he freezes. Never in his life had he heard about 500 push-ups as a warm-up. Wasting no extra time, the woman starts doing those exercises with extreme speed, while little Fuli is struggling to catch up. Moments later, she finishes those push-ups and goes for the next exercise, 500 sit-ups followed by 500 back extensions. Looking back at the boy, she mentions once again he can leave if it's too much for him. Yet, Fuli won't give up, not wanting to look like a weakling in front of her. It was obvious this woman would have a killer workout routine. Moments later, while the woman just finished her 1,000 sword swings, Fuli's voice can be heard, mentioning he had finished warming up. However, that sweat covering his body makes me believe he drank another aphrodisiac that made his blood boil. For the next exercise, they will run 6 miles. But that was it for Fuli. He couldn't even make it halfway. With his face in tears and his body exhausted, the boy realizes he is really lousy after all. He just wanted to impress Cornelia, even a little. But in the end, he apologizes for being pathetic. However, Cornelia mentions there haven't been many people who wanted to train with her, and the ones who did always started whining halfway through before giving up. Fuli is the first one to push through it all without a single complaint. For that, she admires the integrity of his. But the thing is, Fuli had the right motivation to keep on going. He does not understand how anyone could complain when they got to see her workout up close. This was a feast for the eyes. He would have paid good money for this show. All her muscles are national treasures, but among all those muscles, 3 deserve special attention. Her beautifully carved abs, her nicely shaped lower back, and those goddamn glutes. No matter how hard the training was, there is nothing he can't get through with the woman's muscles by his side. On top of getting a workout, he got to see all her phenomenal body in action. With that being said, he would love to join her workout again sometime. Hearing all that, the woman just realized what a gross reason he had for trying so hard. Therefore, she's about to give him some hands-on training so he can get an even closer look at her body. And trust me, it is not the kind of combat where Fuli would end up asking for more.